The cloud. All right. Okay, what's up, everybody? We are live for our Wednesday call, and we're recording this because I know we're on a different link than we normally are on. But we're going to be talking about why content matters now more than ever, and why everybody should be thinking about how they're going to create content. And let me see if I can pull my screen up and share it. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Um, let's see here. Where's my share? Okay, I don't know if that's working or not. Let's see. Can I pull up the chat too? Can somebody let me know in the chat if my screen share is working? I did a bunch of changes to my Zoom settings, so I just want to make sure it's working. Cool. All right, sweet. All right, so why content matters more in 2021. So last time, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, we talked about how to create some content, how to use Canva and design some very basic posts on social media. You can use them for Instagram, for Facebook, use them for your platform of choice and resize them. You don't have to be on every platform, but the world is getting noisier. Online is getting noisier. It's more noisy than ever, and so they're saying people are going online. They're home more. They're spending more time on their devices than ever before. They say that e-commerce accelerated 4 to 6 years from the pandemic. Like that's that's crazy, right? They're expecting incremental growth every year, and in 2020, everybody jumped online. So there's a lot more noise online. And that's good because that also means people are going online to conduct business. They're looking for real estate agents. They're looking for their home online. In fact, that's where they start their search. Like over 90% of people start their search for a property online. And that includes sellers. Sellers don't usually call an agent first. They kind of look at what's going on in the market. So in those numbers and in the data of everybody's looking at properties online, that includes sellers. So they're going online. That's creating more and more demand. And so there needs to be more supply. There needs to be more information and more content for people to be consuming. The fact is, a lot of agents are not doing that. They're still doing what they were doing the last 12 months or 2 years, instead of jumping in front of where all the eyeballs are. One of the people I really follow a lot is Gary Vaynerchuk, and he says we are day trading attention. We're competing for people's attention. It's not even to get a like or a comment or a phone call. We need to capture people's attention. And so we do that by producing and creating instead of just consuming. It's very easy to just, I mean, I'll admit, right? Along with all these people going online is us too. And we're scrolling and we're reading more and we're watching more, we're binging more. But instead of jumping in that pool of people of just consuming, we want to create. We want to put something out there for our market to be able to consume. So, so I want this to be like a brainstorming session for you guys to be able to take some notes down of what could you create, what should you be creating, and I'm going to give you some resources as well towards the end, and some shortcuts if you really want to just make it like almost push button easy, super simple. But what should you be creating? So think about when someone's searching online for property, what are they looking for? What problems and what questions are they trying to answer? Because that's usually what it is. The good content is content. When I say content, I mean a video, a blog post, a social media post, an interview. You could interview other agents, and you could interview a title rep, an appraiser, a lender, anything that's going to answer the questions for the problems that people are experiencing. So they want to know, hey, what are rates like? What is the market like? Is it a good time? What are homes selling for in my area? what should I price my home at? All these are all questions, right? So that's the kind of content. So if I were you, I would start writing down a list of all the questions, the frequently asked questions that your market, your audience, if you're primarily focused on buyers, write down the questions that buyers are asking. If it's a seller, what are the questions that a seller is asking? Write them down, right? Like as long as a list, just keep on adding to it, because every single one of those is a little 1 minute video that you can make. It's a little short blurb of, hey, this is what, this is my answer. This is really what's going on in my market. Um, so and on top of that, when I say my market, local is better. So not just what are homes selling for, or, hey, is it a good time to sell? You can make it very specific for your city. So is it a good time to sell in Chicago? What are homes selling for in Chicago? Um, what is the average days on market? And they may not use that term, right? They might use like, how long does it take to sell a home in Chicago, right? Whatever those are. And then once you take those, I would go and look just do a Google search, do a YouTube search, and find out what are people producing already, what is available. And you might see, oh, this video from like 2 years ago is outdated. It's not relevant. And so if you make a fresh video that's relevant, like, hey, December or January or February or March market update for city name, guess what? You're more likely to get in front of the people, and again, attention for people that are looking right now, because it's relevant, it's fresh, it's new. Okay, so what are all the questions that people asking? So for those just coming on, we're talking about creating content, why content matters more than ever. There's so much noise online. You want to be answering the questions that people have about the market, about real estate, about the process of selling a home, about the process of finding a real estate agent, the process of what's closing like, what should I expect, what do I need to do to get ready to sell my home. All of the questions, every single question you can come up with of what someone is asking, write those down. Okay. Then, okay, and another way to do this, again, is go to Google and just search some of these frequently asked questions. Start typing in the question into Google and then see what comes up. Another thing is you can go to answerthepublic.com. Okay, answerthepublic.com. I'll put that in the chat. Answerthepublic.com is a website that kind of aggregates questions and phrases that people are typing related to a topic. So if you type in Chicago real estate, it's going to come up with a bunch of other things that people are searching around that topic. So again, you want to get found, you want to be in front of people, you want to create relevant content about these topics. So answerthepublic.com is a great brainstorming place to start helping you write your list. So once you have a long list of topics and frequently asked questions, what does everybody want to know? Where are people getting stuck? Where would a new buyer or a first time seller, or where would they be frustrated? Pick the ones that you think are the most common. Maybe it's, the top 5, and then block out time over the next, 4 or 5 weeks and pick a topic for each week. And then I want you to just jot down your answer to that question. Again, if you can record a video, the better, because I'm going to show you how to repurpose that. If you want to write a blog post, cool. But if you record a video of your answer to that question, it's going to be, we're going to be able to recycle it or repurpose it. I'll show you what I mean by that. So so is everybody good on that so far? So the first step is it's called curation. Okay. There's a 4-step process. The first, and I'm actually putting together a short booklet on this, a PDF that I will be sharing probably in the next month. It's going to be very detailed step by step, but I'm just giving you guys a head start. So the first step is curating. We want to curate ideas. We want to find out what people are talking about. We want to go to answerthepublic.com. Go on Zillow. What is the top Zillow blog posts? What are their articles about? Zillow's got billions of dollars. They're spending money on what are people wanting to know about? Write a list. Then over the next 4 or 5 weeks, plan, hey, I'm going to record a 10 to 20 minute video talking about that topic. Okay, so let's just say how's the market in my city? How's the market right now, or is it a good time to sell in city name? That's the topic of your video. Write down all of the answers and the things that go along with answering that. Address interest rates, address supply and demand. You can address um, um, all economic factors. Maybe there's something happening in your city or your area right now that's important, right? Jobs. Amazon moved into our town, so now there's more jobs, so there's more demand. It's a great time. So this is the market. So write down everything that answers that one question, and then literally just turn your little camera on or sit down with your iPhone. You don't need a fancy production. You don't need DSLR. You don't need all that. You really don't. People overcomplicate this. I've overcomplicated it before. I'm like, and really you just need to like turn on the phone, make sure you look presentable, and turn a light on and start talking about those topics. Answer that topic. So this triangle right here that we're looking at is the way that it makes producing a lot of content easy. Okay. So first, again, we've curated our ideas. We have our idea. Now we know what we're going to talk about. We're going to create this one video. Okay. It could be a podcast. Maybe you don't want to do video and you just want to talk and you just want to do an audio version. That's fine. We're going to take that one video, that one topic that you discuss, record it. Okay, we can record on your phone. You can record on your computer. If you have Zoom, you can record actually your video and audio separately on Zoom, which is really cool. So you just, even if you're not chatting with anybody, you can record on Zoom. Just open up Zoom, hit the record button, start the video, start the audio, and start recording. Save it to your computer, and then you have your video and your audio file. Okay. Now, once we have that piece of that long form, this is called pillar content. And the reason why it's called pillar content is because it's a big piece of content. It's a foundational piece of content. It's a common question that everybody's asking. And you get that question over and over again, right? So why not create a one piece of content one time that you can use over and over and over and over and over again and duplicate your efforts? What I'm sharing with you right now is something, when you post this once, and maybe it's not how's the market in January, but maybe it's like, what's the process of selling a home, right? You record that once, that is now good. You can reuse that for the next 5 years if you want, unless there's some significant, government change or some restrictions or regulations that come down to change the process. Record that once so you can reuse that over and over. This is one of the best things you can do with your time, is to create, you're duplicating your time. You're actually answering the question for people over and over and over again by doing it one time. So we have our video, we have our audio, we're going to download it, and then we're going to go to a site such as rev.com. Okay, put that in the chat, rev.com, or you can go to there's a few more. I'll put those. There's several of them, and this is a transcription site. Okay, so rev.com is one of them. There are some that do it for free, so you can just Google free transcription. Okay, and there's actually software where you just upload your audio file, you upload your video, and it'll transcribe the whole thing. Me and Steve, believe it or not, this whole book, 150 pages, 25,000 words. We did not write it, and you can probably tell because it needs to be edited better. But what we actually did is we got on a Zoom call and we recorded 3 hours of ourselves talking to each other, answering all of the questions and all of a summary of all the coaching we've had. We recorded it on Zoom. I took that Zoom file over to Rev. I uploaded it, and they gave me a printout text of everything we said for those 3 hours. And then we turned that into this book. So that's what transcribing is. Transcribing is taking your video and your audio and it's spitting it out as text. So now you can do that. Why do we do that? Like, why is that important? You can do a lot of things with that. You can now create long form articles. You can create a blog. You can go to LinkedIn and make a LinkedIn post about that topic. You can go to Medium, which is a blogging platform that's very popular. You can put it on your website. Again, if you are blogging or you want to blog, it's a great way to take the text of that and spit it out in another form. So now why are we doing this again? We have a video that's, let's say it's 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes long. We now have a text version of it. You also have an audio version of it. So you have 3 pieces of content from one piece already. You can also take that text and you can just just delete most of it, but just keep the summary highlights, like the headline bullet points of it, right? That's another way that you are using it. So then the third thing, again, how do we create image content? How do we take that one video and create images from it? We can do screenshots from our video talking about it. We can use quotes from what we said. Maybe we said something that's very important for a buyer or seller in that video. And then one sentence could be a nice little quote that you put on Instagram, or you put on Facebook, or you put it on Twitter, or you put it on LinkedIn. So you could take that 10-minute talk and you could grab like 10 little statements that you said that would be good. Like, hey, buying in winter is actually better than most people think. It's not the worst time, and then you have a little explanation below your image that you do that. And you can use Canva for that. So again, now we might have 25 pieces of content, right? A video, an audio, a long form article, and then you put it on LinkedIn, Medium, you put it on your blog. You now have like already 5 or 6 things that are posted. Then you create some quotes or little statements. Maybe you have a chart that with your MLS data that you want to post. That one video is now, again, like 25 pieces of content. And this is how people that produce tons of content, and they seem like, man, they're always producing. They're always educating the public. They're always talking to their market. How are they doing it? This is how they're doing it. They're repurposing. They're recycling. And it's a machine. So here's another visual kind of, you, again, make one piece of content up front. You can upload that video to Facebook in long form. You can upload it to YouTube in long form. You can upload it to IGTV, which is LinkedIn in long form. You can put it on your website or blog in long form. So long form, I mean, it's the full version. It's the raw, maybe unedited. Maybe you just put the title of it. And that's what we do with these calls. We put them on YouTube and they're just sitting there. They're going to be there forever, right? So we might get a lead next year from somebody that watched the video that they were searching on how to make content for real estate agents, and they call us and they want to do business with us, right? So that one piece of content becomes smaller forms of written content, and then it becomes other micro, Gary Vaynerchuk calls this micro pieces of content. They're smaller, shorter, like clips. So Joe Rogan, if you're familiar with Joe Rogan, he is like the world's #1, podcaster. And he takes his 2-3 hour shows. Before he uploads that, he actually uploads like 5 to 10 clips from that one episode, and then he uploads the full 2-hour episode on YouTube or Spotify, whoever he's with now. But he's recycling and repurposing his effort that he does one time. So why we do this is to save you guys time. That's the first thing. We don't want to be wasting our time just creating a bunch of content all day long. You could pick one day a week where you record, some content for 2 hours, and then you turn that content into all these other little micro pieces of content, right? You go from this pillar to these micro, smaller pieces. And this is how you appear everywhere. So first, we're doing it to save you time, and secondly, to appear everywhere to get the attention. We want to pull people's attention in so that we can serve them, so that we can help them, so that we can help them sell, we can help them buy. But in order to be able to get to that place, we need to get their attention first. Now, this is not to say don't call people, don't do other forms of marketing, but this is where everybody's attention is. Everybody is on their phone. Everybody is online. Everybody is on social media. Everybody's reading their emails more than ever before. Email is not dead. Email might seem like it's kind of pushed to the side. You could start a weekly newsletter with this content. So now you have a video and you're like, hey, this is my weekly video about X topic. Now, all right, I'm going to open up the questions here in a second, but I want to give you a couple of resources. Where did my tabs go? So if you guys have questions, get those ready, because I'm going to see if I can point you in the right direction or help you answer it. So there is a company that does this called Get Viral. I'm just show you different ways you can do it. You can obviously do it yourself, which I encourage you to do. It's good to kind of know how the process works. Let me see, share screen. Okay. So you could go to like Viral Marketing where they'll do all of this for you. You just send them a little video and they take care of the rest. They post it, they edit it, they make it look nice and fancy. They even email it out to all your people. It's like $500 a month. They'll do all of it. So everything you see here, they're going to do all of that. So that's one thing you can do. That's Get Viral. I'm going to put their link in here. Another thing you can do is you can use Keeping Current Matters. They just basically produce national data and like it looks pretty. So it's stuff that's ready to go. You could post it. You guys have probably heard of them or used them. They've been promoted a lot. Keeping Current Matters. And so what they do is they have slides and infographics and all kinds of stuff that daily blog posts, buyer guides, market visuals, and that's kind of, again, national, but you can even take what they make, for $30 a month. You can use that in your weekly videos if you want. So again, content matters now more than ever. So you want to be producing something. Start with one video a week and then duplicate that, multiply it. Or audio. If you don't want to do, you're not ready for video, I understand. It takes a little bit of like getting used to like, okay, I gotta turn on the screen and make sure I look good. So this will supplement or complement, this will complement your other marketing efforts in a huge way, because you're going to get more attention and more eyeballs and be able to then add people to your database, which is the whole goal of all of this, is to get people into your world, into your database. So now you can follow up with people. And that's where the money is made, when you follow up. All right. So I'm done talking about why we should be doing content more than ever. Who has any questions, thoughts, concerns, hallucinations, anything? Anything anybody wants to comment on, share, or is there something you guys are doing that's working really well with content that you want to share with anybody else? Looking over here. Okay, that means then that was easy. I mean, you guys must have took good notes. Answer the public is a great way to curate your ideas. Secondly, for creating the content, just turn on Zoom or your phone, record, and then we're going to convert it. That's the third C. So it's curate, then create, then convert it all into text, into smaller pieces. And you go to rev.com to transcribe it. And I would just Google. There's free ones that are pretty good as well. And then cutting it up into smaller pieces. That's going to take a little bit of. That's where the real time is in all of this. But you can outsource that. You can get a virtual assistant. You can do lots of things to help you do that. But this is so important, is it's duplicatable time. There's time you invest, there's time other people invest, and then there's duplicatable time, which is what we want to do, so that we are free to be able to do what we love to do. All right. If there's no questions, that is why we should be creating content. That's a high level of how the process works of creating and duplicating content over and over, from one piece to a high volume of pieces of content. And we're actually going to do that with this video. So you guys are going to see, I'm going to take this video, I'm going to chop this up, and this week I'll sprinkle it out. I'll send some out to my email list. I'll put some on Facebook. I'll put some on YouTube. I'll put some on Instagram. And I'm going to do exactly what I'm encouraging you guys to do. It works. So that is all. All right, cool. No questions?
No questions.
Bam. All right. You guys have a great week. Steve will be back next week. We'll do a joint call. If you guys have any topics or things that you guys want us to cover in any of these weekly chats, let us know. Also, if you're on Clubhouse, that's a great way to get comfortable talking and speaking too. That's a new app, a social media app, Clubhouse app on iPhone only right now. We'll be coming out to Android. I'm going to be producing content there. I encourage you guys just produce, just create instead of consuming. All right. Have a great week. We'll chat with you guys soon. There's a stop record. There we go.